what is that one is seeking in life? Well-being, which has both internal and external aspect. Internal aspect refers to being stable within, and success is more of outward expression of well-being. So our vision is to create an ecosystem using modern technology like artificial intelligence, IoT, plus Ayurveda, plus Western philosophy towards well-being. This ecosystem can be divided into two major divisions. First, gadget part, and second, community part. And gadget into activity tracking, user interface, emotion and sensation, reporting, and reminder. Activity is essentially tasks or habits that user want to inculcate or get rid of, or techniques that one follows to accomplish goals. There is set of habit techniques inspired by Ayurveda's Dincharya, Sadvrita, Viruddhadhara, etc., and Western psychology prescribed by gadget. These activity can be either monitored or not monitored based on available sensors in the gadget. User starts by checking with themselves, am I aware of what habit I would like to inculcate or get rid of? If yes, can gadget track it? If yes, user selects, gadget tracks. If gadget cannot track, it is unmonitored habit or task. If I am not aware of my well-being goals, habits, etc., then why? Am I confused? In that case, we suggest them to do Art of Living course, or not aware because I am still exploring or never thought about it. So here is the opportunity to think and explore. After Art of Living course, user either will have clarity or have some clarity and thus selects habits and task, or won't get clarity. Never mind, just choose some habit, task, etc. for now, and later user can change it. Next is techniques. Techniques are ideas borrowed both from Ayurveda and Western philosophy based on self-help books, etc. Example, visualization, breathe when angry, wake up, shake up, affirmations, mantras, mudras, etc. It is said user is more likely to do an activity if he or she can absolutely visualize the journey of obstacle to achieve the goal. So we ask user how they visualize themselves accomplishing the task and draw and upload the diagram for the same. Wake up, shake up. When user wears a gadget, it vibrates every hour or 15 minutes or whatever user has set it up for, which helps user to come to present moment. Its workflow is quite similar to that of habit. User needs to know what technique gadget supports. If user doesn't understand what is technique, example, user might not know what it means by wake up, shake up, then they can watch a video. The main drive behind techniques is self-help books are just information and can't help much with the implementation of idea or check if user is properly following the knowledge. So gadget can be of some help here. Next is emotion and sensation. The actual well-being comes from within, which happens when one stops reacting to people, situation, etc. and is able to observe and is aware of sensation one is going through moment to moment. But most people are completely oblivious to this, and thus our gadget helps them to recognize, but of course to limited extent. Example, emotion is just one aspect of sensation, and gadget's emotion sensor would be able to sense few of them like anger, fear, happiness, etc. and record the same. Next is reminder. User, if wishes, can set reminders for tasks, habits, etc. Reminders are of three kinds. Either user can be reminded before the task, example, alarm before waking up, or exactly at the time of task, example, when user is angry, which is detected by gadget's emotion and sensation sensor. Then it gently reminds through earpiece to calm down or breathe deeply, or reminder after task is over, so user isn't disturbed while in the middle of something, so it just records. Next is reporting. Once gadget starts tracking activities, user can fetch report either through voice command or through keyboard or mobile screen. Example, downloading report for how many times user got angry past 2 weeks, etc. Let's understand these modules by taking one example for each. Monitored habit. Waking up early. When is early? Either user decide or seek help from community or support system, which we discuss about later, or our product can give some recommendation based on Ayurveda knowledge considering users age, profession, season, etc. How gadget senses user is awake. Neurosensor or simple mobile alarm which user would turn off, gadget knows user has woken up, plus motion sensor to sense movement to confirm user has not gone back to sleep, or some external sensor under bed. Also, gadget takes note of time and is it weekend or weekday, as on weekend user might sleep in afternoon, or through some other sensors or some combination of these. Exception: user is sick, which user can input into gadget. User, by engaging with gadget verbally or through mobile screen, helps themselves knowing better intellectually, like is waking up early helping or not. User answers in yes or no, and how. So gadget gives some fixed options like helping or not helping to improve self-discipline, being persistent, getting out of fear of failure, etc. This data user inputs either through voice or screen or keyboard control and can fetch this data in meaningful way later through reports. In this particular example, user may fetch report for is waking up early helping or not. If user realizes it is not helping, he or she can give command to stop or delete the activity. Similarly, few more interactions like rate between 1 to 10 how tough or how important is activity. Is activity now habit of yours? How many days it took to become habit? Which of the 5 basic art of living course point this activity has helped you? User might like to track if able to maintain compose when unable or able to do the activity. So gadget knows either by user input or through some knowledge based on Ayurveda powered by sensors. Also, to keep track of their activity, user inputs what time they completed or will perform activity, and if possible where will perform activity. The idea is, if activity is, let's suppose, morning jogging, a user is more likely to go for jogging if user says I will go for jogging tomorrow 6 a.m. at Majesty Park so I can compete for 21-kilometer marathon, rather than just saying we'll go jogging tomorrow. And since our gadget has GPS, we can track if user's location was at Majesty Park at 6 am or not. If above methods are not working of intellectually trying to know oneself, also user may ask gadget of some home remedies like how to decrease too much kapha dosha, preventing user to wake up early. At the end, to sum up, let's discuss user interface or input-output. User can input-output through 3 means: voice, that is speaker and mic, touchscreen, and keyboard. Primarily, 5 kinds of question user may ask to engage with gadget. Related to activity. Example, what is wake up shake up? Related to algorithm. Example, how sensor tracks the sleep activity. Any generic question about life. Well-being can also be seen as good health, career, finance, relationship, spiritual growth, and miscellaneous. So for example, with respect to finance, a user may ask question, if I earn 60,000 or 100,000 per month, how should I invest? Now of course there are infinite questions possible. So we have database with 4,000 or 5,000 question that usually comes to people's mind. Plus Guruji's most asked question from satsangs, etc. If question asked by the user is not from this database, they can seek help from community or support system. Question may lead to other questions. Example, gadget explains wake up shake up. Then user may ask some more questions for clarification. So our gadget need to have intelligence to handle them. If not, user can create support request. Operational instructions. Example, delete this activity or edit this activity or fetch report or set reminder, etc. Next is community. Community, as per me, is the most important part of this ecosystem. Just by intellectualizing oneself or just by interacting with some gadget, one cannot imagine to empower him or herself. The idea is to have a platform for number 1, service. It is said there isn't dearth of good people, but working in silos. So if they all can work together, can make a huge difference. So here user can search about service projects based on distance from home, kind of service project, like someone is interested in tree plantation only, number of hours. Example, somebody is available only an hour a day or available on weekends. Organization name, as few users are comfortable working with a particular set of organization or a particular group of people. Also, from organization's perspective, they can also look for volunteers and tell about their service project and even get donation. Number 2, platform for forums of people where people can seek and give advice, inspire and teach others, make group of like-minded buddies, celebrate with users, marketplace for product with focus towards well-being and environment. Stable and successful people have a good habit of helping, inspiring, learning or teaching, and celebrating their success knowledge with others. So we partner with well-being centric various individuals, organizations, etc. like Ayurveda doctors, Vedic counselor, other alternate therapists, then Ayurvedic restaurants, cooks, and even some wellness-based software. For example, if our gadget is not able to track waking up activity, we can partner with one which is able to do that. Let's suppose gadget specified home therapy techniques, etc. doesn't work. So user can consult Ayurveda doctors, etc. or seek help from group of like-minded people, how they achieve their goals. Also, user can use this platform if they feel they can make living through this teaching, inspiring, sharing their knowledge with others. Also, doctors, etc. may promote themselves by writing any blog, article, or some user want to share a beautiful story of his or her recovery. Also, it gives opportunity to celebrate. Example, some user recovered following some sattvic practice of growing healthy food at home through home composting. So they can invite friends over party of healthy dishes and if want can promote about themselves. So who is our target user? User who are very broken from inside and thus unable to come out of their shell, unwilling, thus unable to talk to society. but are okay to talk to a machine for some help or to inculcate few good habits which would help them to come out of the shell and face society. People who want to follow knowledge but are unable to do so because they are so stuck in worldly affairs, so need some vigil which can remind, track their activity, and do some hand holding. User who wants to do service but due to unavailability of platform to find service based on earlier discussed parameters. User looking for a platform where they can buy or sell well-being centric products and services. User looking for a platform to get knowledge about alternate therapy. User who are just interested in monitoring health vital signs like blood pressure, heart rate, etc. User who just want to use it as a productivity tool. Next, let's take a Q&A session. So how is this going to empower me? Won't I become dependent on it? Let's understand by an example. If user wants to inculcate good habit of say waking up early and gadget recognizes user is getting up regularly for say X days, for next Y days it won't remind but just track and monitor if user is able to do activity of its own or not. One would grow once knowledge dawns from inside, not through some external gadget or community. That is right. However, well being is more of a process for maximum people. Internal well being starts when one is completely at ease with oneself. But before that, most people flock around frenziedly, trying various things, and this ecosystem help such audience. And one's idea of external well-being keeps changing with age, situation, environment, etc. That is why we intend to make this ecosystem modular. Example, the technique eat the frog, which is doing tough tasks first, might not work for many, as they need to start with doing some small tasks so they feel good about themselves to carry on. So user can add or remove some default features. For example, doing activity ABC, user doesn't want to track if it helps in maintaining equanimity, but if activity helps in increasing energy. Security and privacy is a major concern, and what technical challenges we face. Correct. People can share over gadget their darkest fears and secrets, so we need to take care of privacy and security. Technical challenges are like do we have all the sensors to track the activities? How to cram all of them? How about power consumption? Won't it drain all battery? Then assumption is by reporting, technique, etc. we will empower people, but to what extent are we able to do so, etc. Can this ecosystem of gadget and community really bring well-being? Not at all. No external force can do so. This ecosystem acts just like a true friend or counselor. Also, this tool does not intend to replace any sort of health counselors or doctors, etc. Rather, assist them by providing them a platform. Then what is the purpose of making this tool? As an external ecosystem of gadget plus community, all it aims to make people join the path of self-empowerment, and those who are already on the path help them continue the journey. I am not much of a temple person, but few temples, if happen to visit, really awakens you to some extent. They say when making temples, they take care of latitude, longitude, geometry, altitude, etc. Whatever. To me, it is a marvel of civil engineering. Similarly, if we can use modern technology of artificial intelligence, IoT, powered by Ayurveda, we can build amazing ecosystem. Whether we like it or not, the use of modern technology is only going to increase in wellness segment, and people are going to use them. So we need to talk in language what they will converse in. There are big tech companies and universities spending billions of dollars in research. But problem with them is when you spend billions, you need to earn in billions to make it viable, leading to practices which won't empower users. My Shri Shri University, how this project will benefit SSU? If we really want to make such a tool, it won't be possible without Guruji's blessing. That is the most important reason. Moreover, we already have a platform as we have Sumeru, Shri Shri University, Shri Shri Institute for Advanced Research, or Art of Living projects team. Also, we have so many volunteers who are producing healthy organic food, vegetables, or having organic restaurants, or are health, mental, financial counselors. For example, students who have done course like human development and counseling at SSU. All these people need platform to either sell or buy well-being centric product and services. For this project, one needs lots of skill in various fields like technology, Ayurveda, mind matter, etc. And above all, a committed team which is truly willing to serve community. And I feel Art of Living community can really make a difference here. This project can give good name to SSU. The farther we aim, the farther our arrow goes.